So you want to be the best doula. I hope you want to be the best doula and not a mediocre doula. And that means the best doula that you can be. There's a top for every pot. I don't believe there's any one best doula for all the clients. And you also want to make an impact in this world wherever it is you live and improve birth outcomes, because our birth outcomes are unless you live somewhere where they're not, which is great. You could still be part of that positive vibe going on there. In America, our birth outcomes are and if you're a person of color, if your client is a person of color, they're even worse and more dismal. And I don't know all the reasons why, and I don't know all the solutions, but I do know that a doula makes birth better, and a better doula can only make it better. So if you could be your best version of yourself as a doula and your best doula self, then you are on the road to being part of this solution, which I am very excited that you want to join me on this mission to improve birth outcomes for all. Bam. So how do we get into it? How do you be the best doula you can be? Well, being a doula is not the kind of career that fits in a box. It bleeds in and incorporates who you are and seeps into all aspects of your personal and professional and family and everywhere life. So whoever you are, whatever you are, is coming to the table. And yes, you should leave your baggage at the door and your personal issues at the door and be really present for your clients. But you're still you. So let me get into me. So obviously, I'm a lot of things and I have a lot of life experiences. And one of the things that is always going to be right here in your face if you speak to me is that I stutter. And that is tough when you have a communication block, and this is a very communication-y field. And what does that look like? I will share with you candidly that it frightened me and intimidated me to go into such a communicative, is that a word? Field. And even to make this course, it was really like, how can I do this? I'm going to have to be talking a lot. And you'll probably notice I'm not stuttering now, because if I talk about my stutter, I don't stutter. And you might suggest as introducing that every time. That is a thing that's already been said, by the way. Okay, now you interrupted me and got me off the course. So back to where I was. So I was definitely afraid to do this work just as a doula individually and in this bigger scale teaching a course, because like how is it gonna work? I obviously need to communicate, and I have this thing. So I hope you could take it as a lesson of encouragement, because you know what, and I've been very aware for a long time, everyone has a thing or things. Everyone has a hindrance and a burden that they're carrying. Mine is just very obvious and in your face. So whatever your burden is, whatever your challenges are, don't think that means you can't be a doula. Maybe you can't be a doula today because of your certain challenges. Like I wanted to be a doula 10 years earlier than I went full time because I had 2 small kids. And not that you can't do it with small children, you just have to have the support. And if you don't have it right now, then you're going to have to wait like I did till you do have the time and space to do it. But my stutter's not going to grow up and go away. So I had to figure out, how am I going to be here with my stutter? What's been really amazing and beautiful, honestly, is how much, like, I'm interviewing every week of my life, basically. And I don't get hired all the time, and that's fine. I'm not supposed to. I'm only supposed to get hired by my clients, right? And I'm not everybody's doula. But what has been really beautiful is how much I have been hired, stuttering and all. I do stutter on the interview, and I stutter when I work, and people still hire me. So it's been really beautiful and affirming that who I am as a person still comes through, and people aren't that prejudiced, or if they are, who cares? I feel similarly about it the way I feel about as a person of color. I'm not trying to convince anyone of my worth despite my color, or if they can't see past it, or whatever perceived ethnicity they think I am. Like, that's really okay with me. Like, I'm going to bring so much love to my clients. If you're my client, like I bring the love. Like I bring the love, like the real love. And even though it's paid work. Like, I really love this work, and I just love on my clients so much. So if they're gonna be blocked up front by perceived ethnicity or whatever else prejudice, prejudgment they're gonna make, like, that's fine, because I'm gonna pour so much into them that I'm really fine if they're not there to receive it. I'd rather not give it away for free, basically. It's not to be cocky, but it's to be confident, and also not to be drained of the love to people that are not there to receive it. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't give it to those who won't appreciate it, because it'll make you feel awful. But when you give all that love to people who appreciate it and they reciprocate and give it back with appreciation, it's great and beautiful. So yeah, choosing clients. They choose you and you choose them. It's a two-way street, because there's a lot of work going on. Stuttering. So whatever your personal challenges are, I want you to not think you have to be like fixed and perfect to do this work. Bring your whole self, be genuine, be real, do the absolute best you can, and you could still be really successful in this work. So stuttering, if you don't know, it's a speech thing, has repetitions, blocks. The burp is not part of it. I just had a little gas. There's all different kinds. People stutter in their own way. It is not caused by nervousness, but it can cause nervousness. Did you follow that? And there is no known cause. There is no known cure. There are tips and tricks that can help, but they're all extremely temporary. There is no permanent 100% cure at this time. Maybe they'll invent one in the future, but we are currently not there. And it is an official handicap. It is an official ADA, American Disability something. I don't know. And it can be really, 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 really tough to live with, and really, really confusing, because it's so weird. Like, it really has no pattern. It has some patterns. Like, if I'm tired, it does get worse. But outside of that, it is random. I find it just up sometimes and comes down sometimes. Sometimes I could just get ahead of it and it's not there. It is a neurological condition. It is genetic. It does run in families. It's more predominant in men. But it's also extremely unpredictable. Both of my parents stutter, and one of my kids and various family members on both sides of my family. The majority of the people in my family don't stutter, but some of us do. Something else that's really interesting about it, I want to say, is thank you for taking my course. Thank you for taking my course. As you take my course and you're listening to me and following along, and those times you're going to have to wait. And I was thinking about it. You know, if you're becoming a doula, and if you're going to be a good doula, you're going to have to really know how to lean into patience and lean into meeting your clients where they are. And listening to someone, listening to anyone always takes a certain attentiveness and patience, waiting for them to finish saying what they're saying, and keep your mind there, listening, not just hearing, but listening. The stutter like birth, we don't know when it's coming, we don't know when it's ending, and we don't know when, where, or why. There's some patterns, but then it's just going to be what it's going to be. So I encourage you to use this as an opportunity throughout my course. Use it as an opportunity to really be in that doula patient space, holding space, that non-judgmental. Because let me tell you, some of these births are long, honey. Births can go for days. Yes, days. My longest birth was Monday through Friday. Okay. Did I take breaks? Yes, I did. But a break when you're in a birth is not like a break, because you're coming right back and you're not really out of it. I'll get into that at some other point. But you really have to be in the moment to be a good doula. How do I do it? Like those long births. One thing I do when I'm in a long birth, if I overly think, when am I getting out of course I wonder when I'm getting out of this, when I get to shower and go to sleep. But I can't put my head there. I have to just be in the deep, grounded present now. And the way I get through long births is of course, my mind wants to go there. How do we get out of this? But really get into the now and just get into the deep, present moment. And you can practice that with me as I stutter. When you know the word I'm trying to say and you want to get to the end of it, but we're just going to be right, right here now. I am so super grounded and solid for my clients, and I encourage you to hone that skill in any way that works for you. And here's one opportunity and space to exercise it. It looks funny sometimes. It sounds funny sometimes. A lot of things do. But I hope you have the maturity to lean in, meet your clients where they are, meet me where I am, and meet yourself where you are. And be really nice to yourself, and really compassionate and empathetic to your clients and where they are, and their struggling and their suffering and their desires to have the birth experience they want. And sometimes that birth is not going the way they want it to go. You're going to have a lot of births that are going, and your clients are going to be really upset, in pain, in suffering, and disappointment. And a lot of times, you cannot fix it. And you guys are just going to have to lean in and just be present. Now, everybody's different, but a lot of us know that if you're super stressed, someone saying don't stress, don't worry about it, is the last thing you want to hear. And if that worked, there'll be no depression. Stop being depressed, right? No. Unsolicited advice is the most irritating thing. And this little plug for all the stutterers in the world, just want to say, if you are not a speech language therapist and not the person, and if you're listening to someone's stuttering, they probably, I could almost betcha, they don't want your advice. The other thing is they've heard it all before. Yeah, they've heard it all before. So it's just irritating. So yeah, you can tell your clients they should breathe, but please don't tell stutterers they should breathe. It's so annoying. Anyway, I digress. In the moment. Patience. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. Thank yourself. Good job. I'm so excited. I really want you to be part of this amazing mission that I have to improve birth outcomes for all, really make a difference. I care so much about all the moms and all the families and all the babies and all the birth and what we can do and really be a movement on this mission to improve birth outcomes, to have happier and healthier moms and babies, happier and healthier families and babies. And yeah, like peace on earth, man, for real. Like for reals. The better, more positive energy we can put around as each human enters this world, and as each parent or parents start on day one of parenting, that's huge. And that's just what calls me and speak to me, along with this painting, which I have to get back into. I'm probably going to get back to that tonight. So thank you.